Hello, Kayleigh. I'm Katie, and this is a reading for you based on your question, will I ever put roots down somewhere and create a home for my family? So the first thing I wanted to say was that I believe the future isn't set in stone, and that the future is created, influenced by the actions and decisions that we make in the present, and even the thoughts that we have in the present all contribute towards creating the future, just as the present was created by decisions and actions and thoughts that we had in the past. So what I want to say by that is that I don't feel it's a kind of a simple prediction, yes you will or no you won't. I feel that you have a lot of agency around this situation, and you can certainly influence what happens. So something that's very key is having clarity on what it is that you truly want, and then committing to taking steps in order to make it happen. I'll just show you the spread that I have laid out for you. I'm not sure how clearly you can see that, but I will talk you through it. I used the Light Seers Tarot by Chris Ann. I also drew an oracle card from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck by Colette Baron Reid. And then what I always like to start with is one of these cards, which is called a blessing card. And it just has a single word on it. I'm not sure if you can see that, it might be back to front. But the word on your card is participation, which I feel is a reminder of the fact that, we do participate in co-creating our future, whether we do that consciously or not. So we participate, and also, the universe participates as well. So the first card that I put down is representing you now. And the card that came up for you there in that position is the Four of Pentacles. So, fours are all about stability. You can think of four walls around us, for example. And Pentacles, it's about the material realm. So this could definitely represent bricks and mortar, and that desire to, create a home is something that's in your mind at the moment. And then I put a card across there which represents what you need to integrate. And the card that came up in that position is so it's a beautiful card, and it's all about hopes and dreams and long-term plans. And there's also an element of healing within there as well. So I think, this is saying that you need to integrate is getting clarity on what it is that you want to create. So, perhaps creating a vision board or doing some journaling around what it is that you want would be a helpful thing to do. And perhaps there are some inner aspects as well that would benefit from some healing during this journey towards creating a home for your family, if that's what you desire to do. So above there I put 3 cards which represent elements of your question. We've got 2 pentacles here as well. So firstly we have the 3 of Pentacles. So to me, that there's a family creating something together, cooperating, creating memories. And again, that fits in with this idea of putting down roots and creating a home for your family. The next card is the 5 of Pentacles. And here we can see this door, but the person doesn't feel able to open it and go through, even though there is a key. There's a key right here. So if she was to look up, she'd be able to see that she has got the ability to open that door, but she feels excluded. She feels as though she can't do it. So this can often be around mindset, and lack of belief that you are able to do this. Perhaps sometimes it's around poverty mindset, or just around the mindset of not being able to create what it is that you truly want. And yes, there could be some practical elements as well, such as not feeling you have enough resources to do it, but these are things that are surmountable. So let's look at the third one, and we're moving into the realm of cups here. So this is more an emotional aspect around the question. And the card that's come up is the Six of Cups. So this card is related to childhood, and two different aspects to this. So I'm assuming that you have children from your question, or perhaps you know that you want to have a family, and it's about this desire to create a home for them where they can flourish and grow up, creating wonderful memories that they can look back on with joy and happiness. And the other aspect to this is could be relating back to your own childhood. So I don't know whether you had, a stable, happy childhood that you can use as a resource, or that that you'd like to recreate for your own children. Or if that, if that isn't the case for you, and perhaps that relates back to this Five of Pentacles and this kind of idea of feeling excluded from that. So that is an element where perhaps some healing might be beneficial in order to heal those wounds and to open that door. Equally, if you have that resource within you, having had that experience yourself, it's something you can draw on in kind of creating your vision for what it is that you want. Okay, so moving down, I have now laid out a row which represents challenges or obstacles. And this is quite a key row in your spread because it's got two major arcana cards in here. So these are key influences on the situation. But the first card that came up here was the Two of Swords. So we're in the realm of the mind and thoughts. And, we can see someone kind of thoughts going round and round, really, not able to get clarity, perhaps being pulled in two different directions. So there could be this element of kind of wanting to create a home and put down roots, but at the same time being drawn towards something else, which might be freedom and lack of commitment. Or perhaps it's about wanting to create this home, but not having clarity on how you can do it, and just too many different strands and not able to get a handle on it. And the other aspect with this as well, I think sometimes can be other people's thoughts and projections and what they feel or say that we should do. And so, with her having the blindfold on, I feel sometimes it's an indication of the need to shut out other people's noise and go within, and again, perhaps connecting with this Star card and really getting clarity on what it is that you really want. Okay, so still on this row, which is about challenges or obstacles. So the card is a major arcana, and this is the Fool. And I wonder whether you're quite good at new beginnings. You're quite good at kind of leaving things behind and starting again. But perhaps it's more challenging to commit to something that's going to be more permanent. And I feel that the next card also reinforces that idea. So this next card is the Devil. And I think, this could be about distraction from what your goal is. So perhaps, an opportunity comes along and it's going to be a lot of fun to do, and it's a great thing to do. But at the same time, it's going to pull you away from your commitment to your path in order to create this stable home. Okay, so the final row is about steps that you can take in order to create this home and putting down roots, if that's what you desire to do. And again, we've got a couple of pentacles here. So we have the King of Pentacles. And, kings are masters of their realm. Kings they've got roots, they've got an empire, or they've got a kingdom. He's not going anywhere. And I think that's about kind of stepping up into this, accepting a commitment, really, and accepting responsibility and committing to taking the steps that it would require if it's what you want to create. But also, stepping in the role of being that person who has roots and has that stable home. maybe perhaps, you know, doing some visualization of that, of yourself in that position. The next card is the Nine of Cups, and this is often known as the wish card. So the message here is that, you know, once you commit to something and start taking steps, then the universe conspires to support you, and so other things will start to fall into place to enable you to achieve your goal. And then the last card on this row is the Page of Pentacles. So this is kind of a step back from the Kings, and I think this is saying, you know, this isn't going to happen instantly. You know, it's about taking small steps to get there. It's maybe also about learning new ways of doing things, maybe learning new ways of handling finance and things like that. Learning about, you know, what would it involve having a home. So yeah, it's just saying, you know, step by step. Okay, so I'm going to have a look at the Oracle card now, which is from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck. And this one is called Between Worlds. And so I do feel that, you know, this is, this represents kind of, this is a previous way of being. And currently you're kind of in a liminal space. So you haven't quite left behind the old and you haven't quite stepped into the new. So it's a place full of possibility, and it's a place, you know, where you can have a lot of influence on the future. You know, so using the star to guide you, and the ability to decide on, you know, what is your goal and to start taking steps in order to create it. But at the same time, it's a space where distractions can occur. So you know, it's quite a magical space, and I think it, you know, it does give you a lot of possibilities. And if creating roots and home is your desire, then definitely gives you the potential to do that. And so what I'm going to do now is take another card which will represent the possible outcome if you were to follow these steps. And and the card that's come up there is the Emperor. So we've got another 4 here. So again, this is about stability, it's about putting down roots. You know, the Emperor, he's got an even bigger realm than the King. He has his own empire. So, you know, that's, and that 4 is about the Emperor, and number 4 is about building, and it's about structure. So again, I think it's saying, you know, taking a structured approach, but it's a very positive outcome in terms of being able to create that stability, to put down those roots and create the home, if that's what you desire. So, you know, overall, in your spread, there are a lot of pentacles. So very much about the material world, possibly, you know, questions around money and how to make this happen in a material way. But, you know, clearly there's definitely the potential for you to do this. And so I think, you know, my takeaway message would be around getting clarity on what it is that you want to create and committing to it, and then taking small steps each, you know, step by step, in order to get there. So I hope that was helpful, Kayleigh, and thank you very much for your question.